Hi everyone, so today's video is going to be a shed and cage tour for the guinea pigs. We've made a couple of changes in the shed, so I thought it would be the perfect time to film a video. So as always, I'm going to start off on the outside. So we just have the same as usual. We've got my beware of the guinea pig sign, a few locks and bolts down there, and then my little weight at the bottom there. When you open the door, on the back of the door I've got a thermometer just here and a lucky horseshoe there, and this hook is to hold the mesh door. And here's the mesh door, so we've got a bolt there to close it, a little Welsh sign, and then it's all meshed all the way up and down. And at the top of the doors I do have this sensor light. That's really handy during the winter time, but I don't really need to use it during the spring and summertime. And this is what the shed looks like. So I'll show you everything in the shed first, and then I'll go back and show you the cage. So at the back of the shed I have tidied it up a bit here. I've got my brush, and then all that I've got on the shed door now is this bottle brush and some scissors, and then above all of that I do have this shelf where I keep my radio. On this top beam here I do have these little carnival lights that are off at the moment because you can only really see them when it's really dark, and I do have two shed lights, one here and one here, and a couple of toys just hanging up because I think they look pretty. On this shelf here I have my smaller travel cage just at the top there. And then here I have my jar of treats, which looks really full, which it is. It's never that full usually, but I went on a little bit of a treat shopping spree recently, and I have my guinea pig books there, and then hanging on the hook just over there is some padlocks and keys for the shed. And then underneath the cage here, again near the door, I've got 3 drawers. In the top drawer at the moment I have my kind of soft fleecy items, so I've got things to put on my little bed and hay bags and piggy pockets and pillow pads and things, and then I have some spare dishes just there. And if you follow me on Instagram you'll know that unfortunately, typical me, I smashed my brand new double pink bowl which I loved, and I only used in one video because I smashed it around a week after purchasing it, which is really annoying, so I'm sticking to cheap plastic or Poundland bowls from now on. So these are all the spare bowls I have now. In the second drawer I have the pellet food, the fish food, so for the pond fish, some of my veggie little mini buckets there, and there are some spare treats in those too. And then in the bottom drawer I have all my toys. They look a bit crazy because I've just been doing a video on my DIY toys, so all of these ones on the top are all DIYs. And then on the shelf here I've changed it around a bit, so I now have my first aid kit, and then my weighing scales are just there. I like that they're all in the cupboard and nice and safe, and they're really easy to pull out, so they're just kept on this little shelf now. And then just next to the drawers I have this little box, and this is my grooming kit, and I just keep it there because it's near the drawers and it fits perfectly and nicely under there, and it's easy to access. And I now finally have nothing underneath the tortoise enclosure, which is the way I wanted it. So like I just said, this is the tortoise enclosure. I have the shed heater on the front that heats the shed during the winter. It's obviously off now. And then I've got beware of the tortoise sign here and all of my plugs for their heater and lights and things. And then this is the section, that's my phone, but this section here is where they sleep. So you can lift this up and then they sleep in here. They're both in there at the moment, and I just stuffed that with hay. And then just at the back I'm just keeping a spare disinfectant, and I put a hook here to hang a couple of Christmas toys just because they don't need to be in the drawer obviously until December. And I don't know about you guys, but I don't like to see Christmas things when it's not Christmas time because it annoys me, so I've hidden them up here so they're nice and safe, but I don't need to see them. And then here's the tortoise enclosure. All of the lamps are off at the moment because as it's spring and summertime now, they don't need to be on as often as they were in the winter because the tortoises go out a lot. They have a couple of fake plants. They've got this one and that one there that's covering a wire. They also have 2 thermometers, one here and one here. And then of course we have their heat and UV lamp. And at the back there we have their water dish, which is a puppy bowl. And just in this corner here they have a couple of cuttlefish bones. And I also added this zebra print tape at the back a couple of years ago just to give it a little bit of a jungle theme and give it a bit of colour. And the tortoises don't have food in their enclosure right now because I've not long fed them and I need to put something in this evening, so it's not quite time to put anything in just yet. So just over on this end, next to the tortoise enclosure and under this part of the cage, over here I have a new travel cage. Now I saw this on Sugar and Spice Piggy's channel, and I thought it looked really good and exactly what I was looking for. And my recent wire travel cage is being used currently, so it's not able to be a travel cage anymore, and it's not being used as a home or anything. It's literally being used as a travel cage, but not by me, and so I couldn't use it myself, and I was a bit worried in case I needed to take multiple piggies to the vets. So I thought, you know what, I'll go ahead and purchase this, and I love it. It's perfect. It's exactly what I wanted, and I'm so glad that she featured it on her channel because it's exactly what I've been looking for. And then you probably can't see, but those little metal wire things are my little shelf things. You put fleece over them, the little fleece covers, and you put them over the side of the cage. It makes a little den and bed for the guinea pigs. Just over this end I've got my little red mat. I could do with another one really, so there's two. And I've got my little castle, my bus, and then my pig tent just there. And I also have a couple of hay balls just hanging there. Above the cage on the other end of the shed I've got 3 hay holders. So I've got this one, a hay cart, and then this one I don't know what to do with. I think a lot of you saw the post on Facebook where a piggy unfortunately passed away by getting trapped in it, so I don't want to use it unless supervised now, but then I find it quite pointless, so I'm a bit worried about it and I really don't want to use it anymore. But anyway, it's there at the moment. And then just over here I've got some plastic pig glues and all of my plastic jingly toys. I just like them to be there because I think they look quite colourful and it adds a little bit of something to the shed. Over on this side I've got my disinfectant and my CCTV camera that links to my phone, and then I obviously have all of the shed plugs and everything. Next to the shelf here I just have this handy little pen that's just velcroed on so I can pull it off when I need it. And then on the shelf I've got my 2 seesaws, so I've got the blue one and the black one there, and I've got this guinea pig hay holder and then some hay rollers just on top. And then just on the side of the wall here I've got my bronze play button. I then have my LooBoosShedZoo, so LooBoosShedZoo little letters just in the middle of the wall here, and I have this spare metal run. I literally haven't used this in a couple of years because we made my DIY wooden run, so I haven't needed to, and it'd be too small for 8 piggies anyway, but I've kept it because it doesn't take up any space and it's handy because you never know, I might need it even if it's just for the tortoises or something. But I just keep that on 2 hooks there. And then above that I keep my dustpan and brush, and then I'm back to the door, and up there I have my radio. So finally I'll now show you the cage. So for those of you that are new subscribers, the change in the cage, we've made a few changes recently because we've connected all 3 cages and bonded all 3 sets of guinea pigs. But originally, because they were 3 cages, we had a divider here with a little door in, and I really liked the divider because it was handy to section them off, and especially if I needed to isolate a guinea pig for illness reasons or anything similar, it was really handy. But then someone suggested I take it out because it would make the space look bigger, and at first I was like, oh no, I like it and it's handy, but then I thought, I do have a divider anyway, that I've got this little divider that can slot in the cage. It has little legs and it slots in, so I could use that anyway. But also when we originally made the cage, I'd remembered that the divider here was made to slot in and out, and I completely forgotten we'd done that. But because obviously originally we thought we'll build it because we knew one day we'd have one group of guinea pigs, and then I remembered this and I thought, it might actually be a good idea to take it out because I have got the other divider, so I can still divide them off. I can also section them off here. I have my travel cages and everything, so it's not an issue. But I thought, I was kind of like, I don't want to change the cages, but I did it, so it just pulled out really nicely. You can see the gaps here, but then because there were gaps and because I was going to keep it like this, I just thought we'd cover them up, and then I've waterproofed them. But we've covered it up just to make it look a bit tidier, and I can't believe the difference in the cage. It looks so much bigger. I just can't believe, obviously it wasn't taking up any space because also someone else said the divider was taking up space, which it wasn't, it was just a door, but it looks huge. The cage looks wider and it looks, obviously it looks longer because we can see it all in one, but I like it so much better, so thank you to that person that suggested it because it made me think. But I really like it now, and it definitely, they haven't tried it yet. If you're wondering where the guinea pigs are, they're out in the garden having a great time, so in a minute I'll put them in and show you their reaction. But I really like it, and let me know down below what you think. Do you prefer it with this like it is now, or do you prefer it with the divider in? But let me know. I think it looks quite nice and much bigger. So anyway, after all that rambling, over on this side of the cage we got a giant water bottle, a few toys. So we got a little Willow one, a bird toy, and my donut chew toy there. And I've got this bowl. The food is measured, but it looks like more than it is. But this is a bigger dish now because I smashed my dish anyway. I had to get a new one. But I needed something bigger so that it was heavier, and so also it had a bigger space at the top for them to get round it. So I got this dog dish and it looks fine. We then have the 2 hay racks just here and 2 little toys hanging next to that. And just down here we have one of my lollipop chew toys. And in case you're wondering, the bedding is Megazorb. I've completely switched over now because I much prefer it. It's much softer and absorbent and cost effective, so I've completely switched over to Megazorb now. And also, before I forget to mention, I decided to leave the steps in because obviously if I wanted to divide it I could just unscrew these and slot it back in. But I also like this step here because it gives me a bit of a section, because that's something I liked with the divider. It sectioned the bits off, so if I wanted to use 2 different beddings it would still work. So over on this side of the cage we've got this hanging, it's a Christmas toy but it doesn't look like one, so I've put it there. We've got a couple of DIYs, we've got a chocolate bar and a giant donut, and then a little hay box just there. Over here we've got a couple of jingly toys, so we've got this kind of cat toy here and a baby rattle just there. And then at the back here we've got a football chain chew, another jingly toy and a hanging jingly toy. And then of course we have my fiddlesticks bridge that I've painted with the rainbow colours here, their water bottle, and then another hanging toy there. And in case you're wondering, I haven't put a load of hidey house in this section because the guinea pigs all go downstairs to sleep as a herd, and they just sleep under here because it's like one giant hidey house. So I do put a hidey house under here just in case they want to use it, but that's where they all sleep. And all of them are pretty tame, so they don't need anywhere to run and hide. So I've only put the one in to save them arguing and to give them lots more space. So we then of course have the ramp going down. This is on a hinge so it can be lifted. And then this is here to help Casper because he's elderly, to help him get down so it's not as steep. And it also acts as a little hidey house. Just in this corner here we've got a little kebab with fruit on. They also have a jingly toy just here, and then there's a hay barrel roller type thing just over there. They also have 3 hanging toys hanging up here, so we've got a play blocks one, a fruit one, and a Christmas one, but I've put it in anyway, and then a heart and flower one at the back. And then this is where the guinea pigs all come and sleep. I do put a plastic house just at the back there, but it's currently outside with them at the moment, so obviously I can't put it in because they're using it. But I put a hidey house there, and then they all just sleep here as a herd. It's so adorable. I watch them on the CCTV, but they all come down here and they love it. So this is their kind of little sleeping den. And that is the guinea pig's new cage. I've rambled quite a lot in this, but I really like to explain myself because I think it's important to tell you how and why things have changed, but I hope you like it, and please do let me know down below what you think. So thank you so much for watching this shed and cage tour, and if you've got any video ideas that you'd like me to do, definitely let me know down below, or any themes, because I want to do more cage themes. If you've got cage themes you'd like to see, let me know down below. Remember to give the video a like, a comment, a share, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Bye everyone.